Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Callie, and today we are doing a mini braid Q&A. I know you guys had some questions, and I wanted to answer them for you to the best of my ability. But first I wanted to show you guys my hair. I've had these mini braids in for about 6 weeks. Well, 5.5 weeks, going on 6. It's still looking pretty good. It's a little bit wet. I did moisturize it a little bit this morning. So it's about 85% dry, but it's still a little bit wet. So if you see any white in my hair, that's why. But it still looks good. It's really cute. But I'm actually ready to take these out. I'm ready to take these out because I'm going on a trip coming up really soon. And I need them to be fresh again. So I'll be redoing these soon. But anyway, let's get started on our Q&A. So the first question, I got my little notebook here. So the first question we have is, how do you avoid breakage when you take down mini braids? Okay, so first thing first, before I even touch my hair, I always want to make sure my nails are in good shape. Like, make sure there's no like cracks in your nails. Make sure if you need to clip them, and make sure they're smooth, just so they don't get caught on your hair. Another thing that I used to use oil, but the last time I took my mini braids out, I used like a light spritz of water on my hair, and then I'll use some conditioner with some good slip. I use Hello Hydration, but use whatever works for you. But I love Hello Hydration. It has a lot of slip for my hair, and it works really good. So I'll just spritz it, and then just like, you can do like a section at a time, or you can like put it all over your hair, put on like a shower cap and let it be soaking until you get to that area. But yeah, I think conditioner helps a lot. I think it makes it go by a little bit faster. But yeah, do not take your hair down when it's dry, like dry. Don't do that. Somebody also asks, how do you get them out? That's a complicated question, but you can either I like to use just my hands, but if you don't like using your hands, you can use a not a fine tooth comb, a rat tail comb, and use the bottom part just to kind of take it out like that. But I prefer my hands though, because you can kind of feel, you don't want to rip through anything. But if you need to, you can use a rat tail comb, or someone in my comments said they use a toothpick before too. So I was like, whoa, that's crazy, because they were so tiny. So I was like, wow, that is nuts. But like, hey, do what you gotta do. If your nails can't get it, or if you don't have nails, or your nails are too short, or if you have on acrylic nails, you can use a rat tail comb or a toothpick. All right, so the next question, someone said, how long do your takedowns normally take? And any tips on how to make it go faster? My takedowns, it depends on what I'm doing, because I like to take breaks. I like to eat. I like to snack in between. But I would say anywhere between 4 and 6 hours, maybe. Like when they're tiny like this, yeah, I would say about 6 hours at least, probably. If I had to guess, I think it'll be about 6 hours, 4 to 6. I know, it's crazy, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Oh, any tips on how to make it go faster? Oh, I do have a tip. Now this time, since I'm kind of ready to take these out, but I didn't want to take them out yet. So what I did was I got some of my braids and I started taking some of them down, like this one. Not all the way, just like random spots. Like this one. Like I took this down like all the way up here. Then my hair is like poofy, but I just moisturize it so it can like look like the rest of my hair. I really like this idea because like when I'm just at home, just like doing nothing, and I could be like doing a little bit of my hair, I just kind of take some of them down. I just did it like all over, so it's some at the top, everywhere. I kind of like try to make it look even, but then I just moisturize my hair to make it look like it's still braided. And it also gives me like a fuller look in my hair, so I think that's kind of cool. When I've had it in a ponytail, it looked like a nice thicker ponytail. But yeah, that's another tip. Like, you don't have to take it all down at one time. In a way, you can just kind of like, before you, when you thinking about starting to take them down, you can just like take down just a little bit of it. I think that's really cool. And so when you're ready to take it down, some of them are already like halfway down. So that's a little tip. So you have to do it all at once. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, next question. Someone said, how long does it take to install your mini braids? Whew. It takes a while, but it also depends on the size that you want to do. I am really loving like the small size that I do. But also, I know I can do them bigger and it'll still be cute, but I also like the small ones. Well, these probably took around, let's see. I'm gonna have to say like somewhere between 6 and 8 hours for sure. This last time I did these, I did them in 2 separate days. I do remember that because I started, but then I just got tired and I just gave myself a break. And then I just finished it the next day. But yeah, I think it took about 8 hours, depending on the size that you want and how fast you braid. So everybody's different. Yeah, if I sat down and like did it straight through, it'll probably take me about 6 to 7 hours. Yeah, if I'm like lollygagging, it'll definitely be 8 plus. So it just depends on the person, but it takes me roughly between 6 and 8 hours. Oh, someone asked, next question. Someone said, how many rows do you make for the extra small set? And do you always make them extra small or no? I don't really count the rows, but I can show you. I know there's people who like pre-part their hair. I think that's really neat. That's cool. That's not the way I do it, but that is a smart idea if you do have like trouble with parting. Just kind of like section it off first. Like section it. I've seen somebody like section it, like part it, and then braid it, part it, and then braid that whole part together. So when they're done, they have probably about like 8 to 10 parts in the back. And then they start working on the front. If you want to part your whole head first, be my guest. I think it works for some people. I think it's a good idea if you do have trouble with like straight lines and stuff like that. But I can show you my hair. I don't know how many I have, but let's just look on the side here. So I got 1, 2, 3. I can't see, but hopefully you can. Let's see. 4. Is that right? 5 back here. Wait. 5. Dang, is that it? Is it 5? Just in the back. I think like from ear, like from here to here is about 5. So I would say maybe like 3 more. So about 8 rows in the back. In the front, oh goodness, my hair is old, but you can barely see. Sorry. We got 1, 2. This is just a guesstimate, girl. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 8 on both sides. So 8 going this way, all the way here. And when I start my braids, I usually part from ear to ear first. So I separate the top from the bottom, and then I start parting this way, and then I go up. And then once I get to the front, sometimes I do the front first, but in the front, I start here and then just work my way up, and then I try to match the other side. I know the way I do it is a little bit chaotic, but it works for me. So sorry if it's not super clear on how many, but yeah, this is how it's looking. I'll give you a good look. Sorry. I know it's a little messy back here, but let me part it in the middle. Yep, that's what I got. Maybe you can pause it and count it like that. Maybe that'll help. Sorry, I don't really count them. I do not. Because, like, that's too much planning for me. I just kind of, like, go with the flow. But it does take a lot of practice to just kind of do it like that. But, yeah, let's see. Okay, you also said, do I always make them extra small? No, I don't always make them extra small. This is probably, like, my third time doing them like this small, and I'm loving it. It's like the second or third time doing them this small. The smaller sizes I do love a little bit more. I think they're a little bit cuter. I don't know. I don't know why, but the other ones are cute too. But I'm falling in love with the tiny ones like this size. Not tiny, but small. But no, I don't always do them this small. The size varies sometimes. And sometimes I just go in and I don't really plan on sizes most of the time, but this time I did because I was like, I want them small again. So the first time I did them this small, I was not preparing to do them this small. I just did them this small, and then I ended up loving it. So that turned out good. All right, next question. Someone said, do you really need mousse to curl your mini braids, or just water and braiding them down? Ooh. So if you're talking about like just the ends, no, you don't need to use mousse. You don't have to. One, it depends on your hair, because some people can just use mousse, but for me, absolutely not. For my ends, now it just depends on like what kind of hold you want. For me, I just always spritz it with water first. Water, water, water. Don't have to be like drenched, but I do spritz it with water. And then if you want more of like a softer curl, I use a leave-in conditioner and a curling cream on top of that. And then if you want a stronger hold, you can add mousse after that, or you can add a gel, or you can just add gel. But if you want to keep it moisturized, I would suggest using the leave-in, a curling cream, and then gel. Well, that's what I did today. I spritzed it with water, put in leave-in, and then a curling cream, and then I use Wetline Extreme Gel on top of here. And then this is how it turned out. Well, it's still a little bit, well, the back is a little dry, but this is how it turned out. And usually my hair is like, I use a lot, especially now that most of my hair is like out of the braids. I use a lot more product just to make sure it gets defined and juicy and cute. Okay, next question, which is not really a question, but someone said share some progress photos. Okay, I can do that. I'll try to add some to the end of this video. And keep in mind with my progress photos, my hair, it's gotten longer, I think. I know y'all be telling me. But I know it's hard to tell myself. But when I look at the pictures, my hair wasn't like way shorter, but it was way more damaged. And then so that plays a little part in it too, because you can tell my hair is like fuller now from the root to the tip because I've clipped off my bad ends. So it'll look like like you'll see the progress, but it won't seem like that much because my hair was damaged. It was longer, but it was damaged. But now it's healthy and longer, if that makes sense. But I'll add some pictures at the end of the video, okay? The next question, someone said, do you braid overhand or underhand? Good question. I actually do both. I can do both, but I usually do underhand. I braid faster underhand, so that's just my go-to, but I can do both. So underhand for sure, because I can go way faster. Overhand, it'll probably take me forever. But I can still do it, but it'll just take way longer. And underhand, I just can go really fast. Next question. Someone said, how do you make your parts so sleek so your hair comes out even? So first, I like to start on my hair blow dried. And I'm going to mix this with another question because someone asked me, how do I get it blown out? So I use the Revlon brush blow dryer. Now there's a round brush. I don't use that one, just the regular. It kind of looks like a paddle brush, but it's a blow dryer. I can show you a picture right here. And I use that before I do my mini braids. Like having my hair blown out, I think it really helps with like being able to part really neat and helps me get my hair done faster because my hair is like, not that my curly hair is not manageable, but it's easier to like manage and don't have to worry about getting out the knots because it's already detangled and it's going to stay detangled when my hair is blow dried. So I like to blow dry my hair first. Sometimes some people use what is that called? It's like braid lock and twist gel. I do use that at the beginning, but I don't use it to part necessarily. But some people use that to keep their parts clean. But aside from my hair being blow dried, what helps me get my parts really neat, I use 2 mirrors. I usually have a mirror in front of me and then like a small handheld mirror to like check my parts in the back. And if they're not straight, I just go in, fix it, and then check again. But they do have another mirror. It's like a tri-fold mirror. You open it up and you'll be able to see the front and the back and the sides. I don't own one of those, but those seem really neat if you haven't seen those. I don't know the name of them, but it's like a mirror. You open it up and you're able to kind of like look here, look there, or in the front. You can be able to see the back. I've also seen somebody hook their phone up to their TV and have the camera behind them so they can look at the TV and see themselves parting in the TV. So that's another creative way. I thought that was really neat. So if you want to do that, hook your phone up to your TV and just look like that. That is pretty cool. I haven't done that. I'm just sticking to my little old school way. I use 2 mirrors. That's how I do it. And it takes a lot of patience, a lot of practice to get them straight, but I believe in you. You can do it. Okay. Next question. How often do you redo your mini braids? I redo them. I'll leave them in. I usually do about 6 weeks is generally the max for me, but the longest I've done is probably 7 or I think about 7 or 8 weeks. I don't think 8, but I think 7. I think I went 7 weeks. But I went 7 weeks with leaving them in, and then once I take them out, I usually wash it, do like a protein treatment, deep condition, and then blow dry, and then put them back. So that's usually my routine. So I keep them in for about, I would say 6 weeks max for me. And also when you're keeping them in like for a long period of time, I wanted to say, make sure you're paying attention to like your braids around the rim, around the edges, and in the back, like the perimeter. Okay. I usually redo those, especially my braids on the side, like right here, because I like to do my edges. So I do have like gel and stuff up here, so I try to make sure these don't get like locked up. So I take them down, redo them. Same thing in the back. See, with this one, I just put this one into a twist. Where is it? This one, just in a twist. And sometimes it comes loose, I'll just retwist it back. But this one, I really make sure I do that first row over when they get out of control. So make sure you pay attention to that if you're going to keep your hair in for a long time. And make sure you check them before you wash your hair too. That's another important thing. Before you wash your hair, make sure you redo those braids over in those little sensitive areas. I usually do these, and then that back row before I like wash it. Not every wash, but like after you've worn them for a while, you'll be able to tell when it's kind of getting matted up a little bit. So definitely check that out. Check them out, redo them before you wash it. Okay, please. Thank you. Okay, the next question says, do you feel like you need to trim your ends less now that you're rocking the mini braids consistently? Good question. Okay, so I think I trim my hair maybe, if I had to guess, maybe 2 to 3 times a year. I think the trims, the amount of trims are about the same, but I do think I trim less hair off, if that makes sense. So I still keep about like 2 to 3 trims, but I feel like I don't have to cut off as much hair anymore. Mainly because my hair is a little bit healthier now. Before, my hair was still long. It was long. But most of my hair was damaged, so I did have to trim. My trims really should have been cut, but I did trim. But now I feel like I don't have to trim as much because now we are back healthy. I think I do get less split ends because I do keep it moisturized. I think it does help with the mini braids, especially with the growth too, like keeping my scalp moisturized and healthy and clean, and being able to keep my ends moisturized and not combing through my hair every day. So I do think it's helping a lot as far as like length retention and not having to trim so much of my hair. That makes sense. Really quick, I want to go back to this one. How do I get it blown out? Basically, how do you blow your hair out? Back to the Revlon brush. I did want to say, make sure you section your hair off when you're blow drying. I usually put it in 4 sections. I part down the middle and then part down here. And then each section I'll like break in half. So each section I turn it into 2. But I do it one at a time. Let's just say I'll break it into 4 sections like this. And then to blow dry, I'll part like half of it and then clip this away. And then I'll blow dry this part. And then once that's done, then I'll do this. And then I'll work in sections like that. So about 2, 4, so about 8. So I'm breaking into 8 sections, blow dry like that. That's how that should work. But definitely sectioning off your hair makes it takes a little bit longer, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. And it's easier to like manage your hair in like smaller sections. Last question. Says, can you post a video on how you do these extra small braids and anything else related to products and upkeep? Yes, I can show you how I do the extra small braids like this. I think I'm going to do them. I might do them this size again. Probably. That's probably my plan. But I was going to say, do you guys want to do like, would you guys want to do like a live video of when I'm like taking these down or putting them up? Maybe y'all can ask questions because I'll be on there for hours because it takes a while to take it down and take a while to put it up. But y'all let me know, would y'all ever want to do a live with me and we can just chit chat it up and I'll just be here taking my braids out. Yeah, let me know. Moving along to my progress photos, I wanted to take you guys back to 2019 so you can see how damaged my hair was. It was really bad. I had a lot of heat damage. In these pictures, I did have a Aztec clay mask protein treatment in, and you can definitely see the difference. On the 2019 side, you can see that my hair really didn't have much of a curl. My hair was broken off pretty bad. I had split ends, and my hair was definitely uneven. I would also like to point out that it was like the beginning of me realizing, like, hey, maybe I should try to figure out how to take care of my hair. So that's kind of when my journey started. I kind of started in 2017, but I still didn't know what I was doing, obviously. But I did want to start learning how to take care of my hair. So this was the beginning of that process. On to 2020. Now I do want to point out that 2020, those were mini twists, and then 2024, those are mini braids. In 2020, I was falling in love with mini twists. I was loving like the versatility of them. I was able to like moisturize my hair and take care of my ends and my scalp, and I was really, really loving that. So I started wearing them more consistently. Now my hair was still damaged, but I did start having like regular trims on my ends. Now I really needed a cut, but I decided to take the gradual route and stick to trims every so often. All right, 2021, this was a blown out hairstyle, and this is when I started seeing some of my progress with the mini twist, and started seeing like some of the benefits from it. Now my hair was still damaged, but it was getting better. My hair was getting fuller, and it started to kind of like even out from the trims that I was doing. And then I just started to be more consistent with my whole hair care routine. All right, 2022. Okay, I want to point out these are mini twists, and in 2024, those are mini braids. Now it may not seem like my hair is like growing. You might not see the progress, and this is what I was talking about earlier. This was because I was trimming my ends regularly. My hair was growing. It was growing from the the mini twists. But I was also clipping my ends regularly, so it kind of seemed like I stayed in the same spot for a while. All right, 2023. My hair is blown out here. Now I would like to point out that I was not good at blowing out my hair, like at all. I always struggle with it. But I will say that Revlon brush that I showed you definitely helped me out so much. Because you know those attachment that comes with the blow dryers, they used to come off all the time. I just never could really do it correctly. But the brush has helped me tremendously, as you can tell, the difference. And on the 2024 side, you can tell that my hair has a nice shine to it. It's healthier from the root to the tip. And now that my hair is in a healthier state with no heat damage, I actually get to enjoy the growth now. Like I don't have to clip my ends as much. I just need to make sure I keep up with my trims and keep my ends healthy and basically just keep doing what I'm doing. And my hair is going to keep thriving, growing longer and longer. Also, I have so many pictures of my hair from a long time ago up until now. Let me know if you guys want me to do a full video with a lot of my progress photos, and I will do that for you guys. But just let me know, leave a comment below. All right, that concludes our video. If you guys have any other mini braid questions, please drop them in the comments and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.